If you're thinking about moving to McKinney, Texas, you are probably weighing the pros and cons of living in McKinney to see if it's right for you. There are so many things to love and a few things not to love. I mean, we have lots of sunshine, we have very friendly people, great barbecue, no state income tax, excellent schools, and tons of opportunity with a booming job market and a strong housing market. And don't forget that Texas pride. But we also have very hot summers with a chance of tornadoes, lots of bugs, high property taxes, and pollen galore for those with seasonal allergies. So there are always pros and cons to balance out when you're seriously considering a big move. So today, let's talk about the good, the bad, and the ugly about living in McKinney, Texas. If you've dropped by for the first time and you are thinking about making a move to the Dallas, Texas area, then you have come to the right place. On this channel, I will be talking about all things real estate and the great things about living in Dallas, Texas, and the surrounding areas like McKinney, Texas, and I would love for you to come along for the ride. So make sure to subscribe below and tap the bell for notifications so you can be one of the first to know each time I release a new video. My name is Cami and I am proud to be your Dallas, Texas realtor. I've lived here with my family for over 10 years and since 2015, I have been helping people from all over the US buy and sell homes right here in the Dallas-Fort Worth Metroplex, including McKinney, Texas. So if you are considering a move out to this area, whether it's in 6 months or 6 days, please feel free to give me a call, shoot me a text, or send me an email, and I will be happy to help you make a wise move to Texas. So first, tell me this, are you considering a move to Texas? If so, where are you right now? Let's talk about the pros first. Number one, sunshine. I'm not originally from Texas. My husband and I both grew up in Utah, and then we moved to New York State for 3 years while my husband finished school, and they would break records in snowfall every year. It would snow 4 feet overnight, and when he was done with school, I said, move me somewhere warm. And so, you know, you never talk to a Texan that doesn't like Texas, so we thought we couldn't go wrong, and we moved here, and I just love it here. It is literally sunny here 232 days out of the year. So if you love vitamin D and sun, you will love Texas. Also, the humidity here to me is just perfect. We have about 60 to 70% humidity here on average. It's literally just enough where you don't dry out and you don't need a lot of lotion, but you also don't feel sticky and hot all the time. Number two is we really do have the friendliest people down here. Since we put roots down in McKinney, I have just loved meeting all of the wonderful people here. Even though McKinney's population is just over 200,000, there is still a small town suburban feel here with a close-knit and welcoming community. In McKinney, you get the big Texas charm and also that touch of Southern hospitality. So Texas is actually called the friendly state, and it's well deserved. There's really no such thing as a quick trip to the grocery store in Texas because someone is sure to strike up a conversation with you in the checkout line. In my neighborhood, people always wave hello as you pass them on the street, no matter if they know us or not. And if you ever need to ask directions, well, don't hesitate. You'll probably even end up with a detailed map drawn on the back of your hand. Okay, number three is quality education. We have been so happy with the schools here in McKinney. I have 4 kids, so the schools are really important to us. And McKinney Independent School District is rated a solid A on niche.com, and it really offers just great facilities for our children, but also what I think is more important is quality teachers and staff. I can't tell you how impressed my husband and I were when our kids first started going to public school, and how attentive the teachers were to the needs of our children and all of the additional activities and learning opportunities that they had to offer. Overall, most of the schools here in McKinney have A ratings. We do have a few B ratings as well, which is still pretty good. School-aged children in McKinney usually do attend McKinney ISD schools, but the attendance boundaries do exceed to Allen, Salina, Frisco, Lovejoy ISD, and Melissa. And so when you are looking to move in the outskirts of McKinney, you do need to check to make sure you know which school district your kids are going to be in, but they're all phenomenal, especially Frisco, Lovejoy, Melissa, and Prosper, very highly rated. It's super easy to find just great schools here. Next is Texas BBQ, of course. If you've ever taken Geography 101 or put together one of those wooden puzzles of the United States, you know that Texas is known for their barbecue. And if you love barbecue, then Texas might just be the very best thing that's ever happened to you. Man, Texas really knows how to do their barbecue right. We love the brisket cooked low and slow and seasoned just right so it's juicy and tender and melts in your mouth. And then you add a little bit of that house-made barbecue sauce and man, it is out of this world. Our favorite place here in McKinney, Texas is Hutchins Barbecue near downtown McKinney. Whenever anyone comes out of state to visit us, that is one place that we always take them out to, because when you come to Texas, you gotta have Texas barbecue. Okay, number 5 is that we have no state income tax. Perhaps one of the biggest perks of moving to Texas is the lack of income taxes. It goes without saying that your take-home pay will be much higher if you live in a state with no income tax. This is a huge deal for a lot of people that are fleeing from states that do. Number 6 is that we have a booming job market. Texas has one of the strongest economies in the country right now, which is a really big reason why so many people are moving to Texas. Texas currently ranks first place for job growth. The Dallas Metro is home to the corporate headquarters of many companies, including more than 20 Fortune 500 companies. American Airlines, Lockheed Martin, Texas Instruments, and Toyota are some of the major employers in the region. Other major companies that operate right here in McKinney include Manor Polymers, which is one of America's top 5 sources of flexible PVC. Emerson's global headquarters is also right here in McKinney. And in 2021, Raytheon Intelligence and Space announced a $100 million expansion of its facilities right here. Number 7 is we have a very strong housing market. According to Wallet Hub, in August of 2022, McKinney, Texas has the 3rd strongest housing market in the country because of its housing market attractiveness and economic strength, which we just talked about. And guess what? Frisco and Allen, Texas, McKinney's neighboring cities, were ranked number 1 and number 2, respectively. So Texas's growing housing market has really benefited from interstate migration, since so many people from all over the country are moving right here to McKinney, Texas. And because of its affordable living, excellent schools, low crime, strong economic backbone, and also, as a side note, real estate really is truly remarkable here. We have condo and villa communities like Adriatica with unique details and high-class amenities. And we also have just gorgeous master planned communities here. And we have a great range of prices from the 300s all the way up to the millions. Okay, let's talk about some of the cons. First, weather, which I know I already said that I love the weather here, but the weather in Dallas or in Texas in general, well, it's never normal. There's a saying that goes, if you don't like the weather in Texas, just wait a few minutes. I actually have a love-hate relationship with the weather here in Texas because I really do love that we have lots of sunshine and blue skies and just the right amount of humidity. And I also love that my kids can play outside pretty much all year round. Honestly, growing up in Utah where it's cold and snowy and overcast literally for months at a time, I would much rather spend a few months of hot weather in the pool or by the lake than a few months of snow and ice. We do get some extreme weather out here. In the spring it's windy, in the summer it's hot, and although most of the time we do have blue skies here in McKinney, when it does rain, it literally pours. I mean, it really dumps. I have never seen it rain like it does here in Texas. Also, multiple times in the 10 years that we've lived here, we've had flash flood warnings, big hailstorms, and tornado warnings. We are in Tornado Alley here in Texas, and tornado peak season is March through May. We also use our home insurance a lot to replace our roofs and whatnot because of the large hailstorms we have down here. So if you do own a house down here, you want to make sure that you have good coverage for that. So the next con is actually that we have really high property taxes here. We talked about how we have no state income tax, which is great, but Texas has some of the highest property taxes in the country. In Texas, the average effective property tax rate is actually 1.9%. And the fundamental reason why property taxes is so high is that Texas doesn't have state income tax. So it's one of the only 7 states in the nation without one. And instead, we pay the government through 2 main sources of revenue: sales tax and property tax. So the next con is pollen. So if you have seasonal allergies, Texas might actually not be for you. Texas ranks pretty high on one of the worst states to live in for allergy sufferers. Most common allergens for those with seasonal allergies are ragweed, cedar, and grass pollen. And as I mentioned earlier, it's really windy here in the springtime, so that's naturally the worst time for those who suffer from allergies. And it's actually not uncommon for people to come here and not have allergies before moving and then develop allergies after they move here. I guarantee that every household in Texas has allergy medicine and nasal sprays. So the last con is we have bugs. There's a saying in Texas that says everything is trying to bite you, stick you, or sting you, and well, yeah, it's kind of true. I remember when we found a nice big tarantula walking down the sidewalk in front of our home in the suburbs. At least it wasn't inside my house, but some people do get them inside. We have ticks, fire ants, chiggers, but this is the story that will make your skin crawl. So I know a lady who bought a house several years back, and this house wasn't very old at all. One day, not long after she moved, she found a scorpion on her kitchen counter. Gross, right? I know. So a few days later, she found another scorpion right close to where the other one was. So they had the pest control company come out to the home, and they discovered that the attic was literally infested with scorpions, and they were somehow dropping into the kitchen from the air vents. But I don't want to scare you too bad. Honestly, out of the 10 years that I've lived in Texas, I've never seen a scorpion. I've only seen one tarantula walking down the sidewalk, and seriously, if you live in the suburbs and in the city and have regular pest control, which I would say is a must, you really shouldn't have too much of a problem at all. I'd just be sure to make sure you budget for that pest control when you're getting ready to buy a house. I've given you a lot to think about, but I hope that the pros outweigh the cons for you. I know they do for me. If you've gotten some valuable information so far, make sure to give this video a thumbs up so I know that this is content you like. And if you are thinking about making a move to the Dallas, Texas area, or have questions about what it's like living here, give me a call. Like seriously, I would love to chat with you. My information is in the description below, and until then, I hope you have a great day. We'll see you later, y'all.